Hello and welcome to Microsoft Mechanics Live. Coming up, we're going to take a look at recent updates to Microsoft Planner, including updates to the core Planner experience, deeper integrations in Office 365 app experiences like Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, and Outlook, the new schedule view in the web app, and how you can automate your plans with Microsoft Flow. And to join me today, I've got my partner in crime, Dave Heller, and he's got a plan.
Hello.
He's from the Planner team. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Give him a warm round of applause. All right, so Planner is one of my favorite newer apps from Office 365, and one of the more popular apps that we see in terms of just its simple and visual way to organize teamwork. Last time you were on the show a few months ago, we've made a bit of progress since then, but what's the team been working on now in those last couple of months since our last show?
You know, it has only been 2 months since we last spoke, but there has been a ton of innovation in Planner.
Okay, right, and every time we publish a show on Planner, there's a ton of organic interest. I mean, just even the original show has been really good. So we've done a lot in terms of Planner on the mechanics, but what else has the team been working on?
Yeah, so firstly, I mean, we're really pleased with the uptake we've seen for Planner. I mean, there are millions of users worldwide with just continual growth. So thinking about what we've updated for this go-around, you know, the main focus has been on enhancing the core Planner experience to include new features such as the schedule view, iCal integration, the ability to copy a task, and updates to the notification strategy. We've also developed new ways to extend Planner throughout Office 365. We have a new web part to include the Planner board and SharePoint team sites, and updates to Microsoft Flow connectors. For example, within the applications that you use daily, such as Outlook, SharePoint, Dynamics, any number of SaaS applications, you can trigger a task in Planner using Microsoft Flow.
Cool, but before we take a look at all the updates, why don't we take a step back for the folks that maybe are new to Planner and give them a tour of what Planner can do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to access Planner here through the App Launcher experience, and we go into what's called the Planner Hub. So what we're looking at here on the bottom, we see these tiles that represent not only my plans, but also my Office 365 groups. And as you may know, for every Office 365 group you also have a plan, and likewise. So in the plans below, there may not be any tasks at all because the group wasn't created to work together yet. But for the groups that we are working together, I've favorited those. So you can see I can click down here, add to favorites, and then it will give me a high-level view of the work that's happening within these plans. So I'm going to go in this pre-populated plan for the product launch. And that opens the Planner board. This is the heart and soul of Planner. And what we see is a complete plan with tasks and buckets configured the way that fits my business. So every member who joins the plan can update, create, edit any of the tasks. And the idea is that we want a way for teams to organize their work and tasks quickly and easily. So let me jump into some task details to show you the kind of depth that we can provide here.
Okay.
So within this task branding guidelines, I've designated the bucket. What that means, that's how I'm categorizing the work. Again, this is all completely configurable.
The buckets were those vertical columns that we saw earlier.
Exactly, and we'll go back there and I'll dive right in. We can list the progress between not started and progress and complete, have a start date, a due date, type of description. Down here we can have checklist items, and if we want, we can show that on the card. Instead, I have the attachment on the card as well, but just as easily I can have the checklist, and you can check that off from the Planner board interface, which is super cool. And then down here we have attachments. Anything you upload to this task will go straight to SharePoint Online as part of the group's framework. And then below we have the comments section, which goes right to Outlook. So you can have this conversation in the task, it'll go to Outlook, you can continue it there, and it'll populate right back into the task. On the right, you'll notice that we have these color-coded tabs. These are completely configurable. They start blank. You just give a visual way to have people understand if they should be looking at a task, even if they're not assigned to it.
Right.
So see on the right, we have examples of like at risk or blocked or on track. But then on the bottom, we have blue skies, which is like, what does that mean? I don't know, but the point is that we can configure it any way we want.
Yep.
So going back to the board, we can also change the task views. As you notice, we have these columns which are buckets, and we can adjust these any way we want. But we can also change the visual to assignment. And so we click on this and we see the work that we all have assigned to each other, and we can drag and drop to actually assign work across. So we have updating messaging framework. I'll take that one, and now that's assigned to me. We can do the exact same thing with statusing work in the progress view. So here we see figure out Western region launch plans. Maybe I'm in a team meeting and we're doing status updates and I say, hey, how's this going? And they said, well, West region north is done and I can drag this over to in progress and now I've status it just that easily. If you want an even faster way to be able to sort of status and see what's going, we have the charts view.
Okay.
And what the charts view does is it shows you all of your task owners, and I can drill down very quickly to see who's doing what. So here we see my name, Dave Heller, and so now it's filtered by my name, and then I can group that by due date. So very quickly I go to seeing like what's due today, what's due this week, what's due in the future.
Very cool, and you can flip between the other favorites there as well, right?
Yeah, so one thing customers ask me pretty frequently is, I really like Planner, but I want to be able to go through my plans to see what's late because, I don't have all the time in the day. And so what's cool is it'll save the charts view, and you'll see my other favorites, Ignite 2017. I can go there very quickly, and it automatically loads all that data, and you can see that I've been quite delinquent with the 2 tasks I have assigned to me.
Right.
So I can
looks kind of red.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, that's really the core Planner experience.
Very cool. So it's a really simple way to be able to build team plans. And if you want to understand core concepts of Planner and how to build a plan, check out the show that we did a few months back of the kind of the 101 of Planner. Can you walk us through some of the brand new updates that we've been working on the last couple of months?
For sure. So there's a really important one, and you may have noticed this. It's the new schedule view. We've had a tremendous amount of feedback for a calendar type view. So we've built this into that core Planner experience in addition to an iCal integration. And what's nice is you can take tasks and you can drag them directly onto the calendar and it'll assign them and attach a start date and a due date very quickly. So I dragged Instagram strategy to Tuesday. I know it's going to take longer. I drag it out and then it automatically adjusts the due date. And with the iCal integration, you can see up here that my Planner product launch has already been included as an additional calendar overlay to my Outlook calendar. So we've also done work with task assignment notifications, where now you will get individual emails for assignments. So let's say I assign you a task, you'll receive an email from me to you, so the whole team doesn't get one and the whole team doesn't send one, and it's much more granular.
Very cool, so you don't get notifications for everybody on the team who's getting any random tasks assigned. So it's very personalized to you.
Yeah, we're trying to make that experience a lot more personal.
Right.
So we've also previously had limits to the number of tasks you could have assigned to you. Now, you can have any number of tasks assigned to you, and will only fetch recent tasks on that initial load. So for all intents and purposes, we are entirely removing limits.
So what are some of the other additions that we've made to Planner?
Yeah, so in mobile, users can now create, view, and edit plans on iPhone and Android phones.
Very cool.
Additionally, we've onboarded Planner into Intune for mobile application management. And we've created a deep link between Planner mobile app and other Microsoft mobile apps like Teams. So when you click on a Planner tab in Teams, it will quickly and seamlessly transfer you across to the Planner app.
Very nice. So we're both working on a launch event actually as part of the show. And once you assign me a task, the nice thing is I can actually see it on my mobile phone if that happens, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what's happening.
So here I've got this task, and I can go ahead and actually start to click into the task and give it some status. Maybe I'll say it's in progress. I'll add a comment that says I'm working on it. There we go. And when I send that out, then that will update your Planner board, and you'll be able to see anything that I've done. So is there anything else then coming for the phone?
Yeah, so we're looking to build push notifications and also an iPad-optimized app as well.
So you've also mentioned that the team's been deepening Planner integration across other app experiences. What's new there?
We have. So you'll notice here, I'm in my SharePoint team site. We have created a Planner web part that you can include in your SharePoint team site to view your Planner board or the charts page directly from SharePoint. And as you'll notice, I'll click on the task that you filled out, and it's right there within SharePoint. It's completely mirrored across the Teams experience, mobile, and the web client.
That's one of the great things is we can have the whole plan, for example, exposed through Teams. We can have it exposed right here in the SharePoint site, and that way you're actually interacting with the underlying plan directly, even though you're in those other experiences.
Yep, and the SharePoint site feature will go live in the upcoming months.
So why don't we dig in a bit more in terms of the Teams integration?
For sure. So as you noted, you can have the full Planner experience from within Teams. Again, we have that same task that you filled out on your mobile device. But also there's an interesting extra tidbit we've added for teams where you can just add additional plans that don't spin up additional groups. So you can plan and create sort of a whole new kind of hygiene on how you plan. So you can create project-specific plans, but also in terms of how Teams works, we have different channels here. And so here we have the design brainstorm, and that channel from within the product launch group has its own planner board that just lives right in Teams. And anytime I assign people tasks in it, it will go to their mobile device and the My Tasks page, so they'll be able to see that as well.
Very cool. So a lot of people here are probably IT pros writing scripts, wanting to do automation. So we've built some automation frameworks into Planner using things like Microsoft Flow. What are some of the practical uses that we can do when we combine Flow with Planner?
Yeah, so I'll go back and show you first from my flow that I've created 3 flows. And let me walk you through kind of the story of each of them. Again, it's very easy and visual to create. On the top, we have a link from Project Online into Planner. And what I've told Flow is that whenever in a designated project in Project Online that there's a task that has to do with workflows, I want that sent to Planner and replicated in my Planner board. Below that, we see that whenever a new document is added to a specific folder in SharePoint, I want to have a notification in Planner to review that, so it creates a task that signifies that. And then lastly, in Outlook, I have a very simple, whenever I flag an email, I want to get a corresponding Planner task that has the name of that email and then also the body of the text within the description. And so I'll switch over to the Planner board that I have here that just says flows to Planner, and those are the 3 tasks that I've sent in from those 3 separate workloads.
Very cool. So the sky's the limit here in terms of what you can do with Flow. So for example, in kind of an area that I'm interested in, like maybe new user provisioning, you could have it then kick off workflows as the new user comes into the environment, maybe procures hardware, gets their desk and everything ready, kind of builds a plan around the various stakeholders that have to do that. So lots of stuff that we can do. We saw some great integration between SharePoint and Planner. We've seen all the different mobile editions. We can create plans now right from the phone, and there's even more coming. But if you're not already using Planner right now, where can we go in terms of, or where can people go to learn more and to start trying it and checking it out?
For sure. If you're not currently an Office 365 Enterprise user, you can learn more at the link shown on the screen. And keep helping us shape Planner with what you'd like to see by giving us your feedback via the tech community.
So thanks, Dave, for joining us today. Of course, keep watching Microsoft Mechanics for the latest updates to Planner and across Microsoft. That's all the time we have for this show. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.